The Joe Budden show that just happened with his employees arguing. But if your employees start arguing and you in that seat that Joe is sitting in, how do you deal with that?
All right, y'all. So Cameron was on his Talk with Flea podcast. That's just one of his newer joints, one of his newer podcasts, solo dolo. Guess who gets brought up? The Joe Budden Podcast. And what he said, honestly, he's not wrong.
It depends, because the people that I work with is genuinely my friends. Like, really my friends. I don't think none of them niggas is Joe Budden's friends, in my opinion. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I think Joe knows what works for them, and them niggas is using what works for them too. I don't mean that in a bad way. You gotta think about it. Queen's Flip had his own podcast. He went and joined Joe Budden's. I forget the shorty name that me and got into it. Melissa Ford. She's not even on this show no more.
Yeah.
Now you got Lamont Hill. You talking about Lamont Hill arguing with Queen's Flip.
Right.
I thought the nigga Lamont Hill was on CNN or Congress or some shit. I thought he was one of them niggas. Then I looked up, he on Joe Budden. You know, I don't see it all the time. I just see the clips. So from the clips I seen and what the backstory I heard, and I could be wrong, seems like Queen's Flip is being territorial because he was there before Lamont and probably don't like Lamont being there. Niggas saying, let's step outside. Me, if let's say it's people in this room, I'm not gonna let y'all fight each other, not on my watch, no. But if it was me with Queen's Flip and Lamont Hill on my show, go ahead, go outside. Yeah, nigga, I don't give a fuck. As friends, no. As niggas I don't give a fuck about, yeah, swing so we can boost my ratings up.
Joe has said it countless times. These dudes aren't my friends. They're my employees. And every time he does try to blur that line and call them his friends, the whole room gets quiet, awkward. No one really doubles down on it like, yeah, bro, you already know we rock with you. Nothing. It's just, it's weird. The saddest part about this whole situation is Joe is clearly successful, right? The podcast is a machine, but the atmosphere feels off. You can feel the lack of genuine brotherhood. If Joe was surrounded by actual friends, people who respected him and moved with alliance and energy, the pod would go even further. And the chemistry wouldn't rotate every few seasons. Like, it reminds me of my own personal experiences, sadly. When you're just someone's employee, you don't owe them loyalty. You're not staying late out of love. You're not pulling up on your day off. You're calling out when you need to, showing up late if life is lifing, because you don't have their best interests at heart. And that's where Joe's at. And I low-key feel for him. Listen, I wonder if this is all gonna blow up. I kind of hope it gets back to Joe, because maybe it might be a little bit of vindication. Cam's not throwing shade. He's just saying what we've all, or I guess what Joe and I has been saying. Like, y'all not really my friends. And this is why Joe stays at the strip club. If he had a couple of homeboys, he'd probably go out to the bars. He'd probably have house functionings. That's why he don't have house parties. He doesn't go to... Like he said, he hasn't even met Ish's girl. He doesn't go to none of their homes. Like, he barely knows where anyone lives. Like, for the ones who's been listening and following along, we hear it all the time. Joe hinting, y'all not really my friend anyway. Y'all don't really want to go out. Y'all, nobody ever want to hang out. Pulling teeth to even throw Ish a birthday party. Like, the only person that I've seen on the podcast show, not behind the scenes, but on air, say, yeah, man, I'll go out with you, is Mark Lamont Hill. That's why Joe shows a little bit of favoritism on air, because it's natural. When you have that natural rapport, that natural chemistry, it's going to come through on air. And that's why Mark is able to get away with sly comments, because Joe kind of messes with him off the pod. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Are these people on the podcast Joe's friends, or does Joe not need to search for friends? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Please continue to like this channel, subscribe, and I'll holler at you guys in a minute.